Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm Sarah. This is No BS Beauty. Really quick, just want to remind you to subscribe if you found my videos helpful. Please subscribe. Also, check out my newsletter. Doing a newsletter usually about once a week with some interesting news and other thoughts. And for today's video, I thought I'd talk about my favorite K-Beauty Retinoid products. And I've got a handful of them, and they range in price from what's the cheapest one? I think 14 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks to 36 bucks. So a lot of these are pretty affordable options, and I've got them in a variety of strengths, and I'll talk about the strengths of each of these. And I will mention, I think they're all fragrance free, so keep that in mind. Okay, first up is 14 bucks. It's the Isntree Hyper Retinol. And this one uses 1% retinol. So retinol, gold standard for anti-aging, fighting fine lines, fighting wrinkles, improving skin texture, tone, brightness, all that stuff. It's also great for acne-prone skin as well. So retinoids are great for your skin. If you can use them in your evening routine, that's usually the best bet. So, and it can make your skin a little bit dry at first. So if you have sensitive or dry skin, there's a lot of nice ways to use these, and a lot of these aren't super drying, but you can always use different methods to apply it. A very common one is the sandwich technique. So you'd apply your moisturizer, then apply your retinol, and then apply another thick moisturizer afterwards. So this is one of the more gentle options. So it uses 1% retinol. What else do we have in here? 0.3% retinol palmitate, which is a very weak type of retinoid. And then it's got 0.6% Bakuchiol, which is also called phytoretinol or plant-based retinol. It's a plant that shows some potential benefits similar to retinols without the irritation, and comes from a plant. This one also contains some great soothing ingredients such as Asiatic acid, Madecassic acid, Ceramides, and it's also got 5 peptides in there. And Madecassic and Asiatic acid are great soothing compounds from the centella plant. So 14 bucks, this one's really nice. It's got kind of an oil serumy texture to it. So let's see, that wasn't a good amount. There we go. Okay, and vitamin A tends to have a yellow color. So most of these will have a yellow tint to them. Not all of them have a yellow tint, but some of them will. So this one's very nice though, really affordable, no fragrance in it. I love Isntree. They're a small brand. They're still owned by their original founder and CEO, which is nice. So they're still a small brand that's kind of big, but still not owned by like Unilever or Estee Lauder or Procter & Gamble, those giants. So I really enjoy this brand. Okay, next up is Cosrx. They have a variety of different retinols. They've got a retinol oil, and they've got a couple creams. This is their 0.1 retinol. It's about 18 bucks. And this one just contains 0.1% retinol. In a second, I'll talk about a retinal serum, but retinol is weaker than retinal, but still strong enough for anti-aging, things like that. So this one's also contains rice bran wax, Beta-Carotene, and Glutithiaone, and it's got a nice cream texture to it. Metal tube packaging. There you go. So if you're not aware, Sephora takes packaging. So if you finish a cosmetic product, they have bins at select stores. You can take your product in as long as it's emptied and drop it off there. I think they take all brands. But their goal is to get you in the door. So once they get you in the door, then maybe you'll buy more. So it's brilliant, and it's good in the long run. The packaging all gets recycled, so it's kind of nice. So 2 winners. And Sephora's always going to win because they're owned by Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy. They're wealthy, giant company. So. Okay, next up is a very popular one. This is the Beauty of Joseon Revive Eye Cream with Retinol and Ginseng. It's about 15 bucks right now. So this one uses what they call 2% retinol liposome-stabilized complex. So liposomes are typically, a lot of times they're made out of cholesterol or ceramides. They kind of encapsulate the retinol, making it more gentle for your skin. So typically, as far as I understand it, 2% retinol liposome corresponds to 0.02% retinal. So if you hear 2% retinol liposome, it's not 2%, it's 0.02%. It makes it weaker, and but it makes it more gentle for your skin as well. So if you see some, I was just recently asked about a similar product that was advertising 4% retinol liposome, and it doesn't mean it's 4%. It's actually probably closer to 0.04%. So nothing wrong with that. But anyway, so this one's pretty gentle. It also contains ginseng, niacinamide, macadamia nut oil, ceramides. It's very nice. Actually, this one's a nice one for the neck, which gets sensitive, and the eye area. And a lot of people use it all over their entire face because the packaging makes it convenient and affordable enough where you could use it over your entire face. So if your neck is sensitive, things like that, this one's a nice one. And it's got some of those hydrating ingredients in there. So there you go. And still affordable. So very nice texture. Again, great one to use at night. If you use other actives in your evening routine, so I commonly am asked about copper peptides and retinols. Can you use them in your same routine? Can the copper peptides bonds break if you use them with a retinol or retinal? And typically what I will recommend is, depending on the formulation, because like my favorite copper peptide serum comes in a serum. So I'll cleanse, I'll tone, I'll apply this, give it a second to soak in. Typically I'll do my eyelashes, lash serum, stuff like that, or work on my neck. And then I'll apply a light serum in between, or a light moisturizer, an ampule, and then I'll apply my retinol after it. So it kind of gives it a second to absorb, gives it a minute to absorb, gives it a little product to buffer it, and then you can apply the copper peptides. If you use like a copper peptide cream, there's one, this one I'm actually almost done with it. The Niode one, that's kind of a moisturizer texture. I would tone, then I would apply your light serum, then I would apply your copper peptides, I would apply your moisturizer, and then this afterwards. I like to have a little buffer in between them just to allow them to absorb, work a little bit, but I don't think the bonds of the copper peptides are as fragile as some people think they are, but still kind of a newer technology, really. Okay, next up is the Cicanoid Retinal Cream, which is $14. This is a pretty good deal. So this one's got a combination of retinal, retinol, and Bakuchiol or phytoretinol. And this one also contains some nice antioxidants such as Pynogenol, Panthenol, and licorice root. It's really nice. There's no scent to it. It's got nice packaging. They also have a serum version of this one, or I think it's an ampule that they call it, which has a little bit different packaging. So that one might be worth checking out. But let me give you a little swatch of this one so you can see. It's also got that yellow shade to it of vitamin A, but nice texture to it, not greasy, and kind of hydrating feeling, and works well in your evening routine. Okay, this next one I'll be reviewing this week is the KSECRET. This is their, hang on, KSECRET SEOUL 1988 Retinal Liposome 1% and fermented rice, and it's $17, and this one contains 1% liposomal retinal. So again, it's going to be a much more gentle formula because of the cholesterol, the encapsulation, the liposome technology. So it'll be much more gentle than compared to like a 1% retinal. Just not quite apples to apples. So this one, in addition to that, it also contains ginseng ferment, Bakuchiol, vitamin E, epidermal growth factor peptides, fragrance free. It's got a nice kind of a lotiony serum type texture to it. And a little bit of this one goes a long way, which is nice. There you go. And it's a pretty big container too. Yeah, this brand's got a handful of different retinol products. So one of them has a lot of ginseng in them. Yeah, they've got an eye cream, all worth checking out. Okay, next up is the Hair Wonder Black Rice Night Retinol Serum, which is $15. This one is probably the weakest one on the list, so it's good for beginners, and I think they say that on the packaging. At the very bottom they say for beginners or for sensitive skin, but it's a nice way to get your skin kind of acclimated to it. So this one contains approximately 0.08% retinol, which is why it's great for beginners or those with sensitive skin. So it's a nice way to make your skin kind of acclimate to retinol without some of the dryness and things that occur with it. In addition to that, it's got rice extract, ginseng extract, and ceramides. Let's see. There we go. And you can see that it's not quite as bright yellow as some of the other ones. Some like the Geek and Gorgeous are like fluorescent yellow. Okay, a couple more. Next up is, this one's newer. So I'm saying this as somebody that's just been testing it recently. This is the Numbuzin Blue Bio Retinol Pore Refining Serum. It's $22. So this one contains small amount of retinol. It contains 10% niacinamide, and then it contains 0.2% salicylic acid. So it's more meant for oilier types of skin. And it also contains some nice antioxidants such as Panthenol, Honeycol, which is a very strong antioxidant that it's kind of new, but I'm starting to see it show up in a lot of K-beauty stuff. Macadamia nut oil, and then aloe, and it's got a serum-y, watery texture to it. So let's see. There you go. Can you see that? Oh, yeah. Very nice texture, makes it easy to fit in a routine. And I can definitely do a full review of this once I've had a little bit longer chance to test it out. So, okay, next up is $10. This one is SEOUL, which is a brand a couple of you guys mentioned to me, so thank you for that. This is their Advanced Retinol Pro Serum, 0.5, and it's $10. So this one contains a 0.5% concentration blend of retinal and retinol. Retinal, a little bit stronger than retinol, requires a little bit less conversion deep down in your skin to become retinoic acid, so it makes it a little bit stronger, but they're both great ingredients. This one also contains beta-glucan, macadamia nut oil, ceramides, and squalane, and they've got really fun packaging. There we go. Very fun. I mean, I love the colors of the packaging. I don't know. It's dorky, but I love it. And then last but not least, this is the most expensive one. So keep that in mind. You don't necessarily need to go with the most expensive one. There's a lot of ones that are much more expensive, but as far as K-beauty goes, it's expensive. And it's the VT Cosmetics Ready A Retinol Shot 100, which is $36. So it's about double or triple most of the other ones I mentioned. This contains retinol as well as Bakuchiol. I'm not able to find the actual concentrations of either of them. I don't think it's much seen where it falls on the ingredient list, but it also has some nice ingredients such as centella, propolis, beta-carotene, coffee seed, and Asiatic acid. And I don't know, if you have tried the Retinol shot and you like it, this one might be worth trying. If you didn't like the Retinol shot, then this probably isn't a must-have, but there we go. It's very gentle in terms of the spicules and things that they use, so compared to some of their other ones that are a lot stronger, you feel that pinprick, the Retinol stuff. I don't know. It's been around for a long time, but it's just being really talked about now. I don't know why. I mean, it's existed for a long time, but this brand really turned it into something big and selling a ton of them, and people seem to like it, so nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so most expensive one, but these are all great. Obviously, it just depends on what other ingredients you want, what strength, price, where to get them all. So I will link to all these below. Check out all my links. Curious if you have any favorites that I didn't mention, so leave a comment below with that. And thanks so much, and I will see you guys more tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.